I've been thinking lately that maybe I should start working on doing an intro for this series. What's up? Hello to anyone listening out there. Name's Crimson Law. This is Animated. And today I've got plenty of stuff to cover. Some random internet dub nonsense, a bunch of trailers, some new stuff, new releases. Just going to go for it today. But before that, just kind of going to go over the week, at least as far as what I've been watching and reading. So, kind of the same as last week. Still Jujutsu Kaisen, still Shangri-La Frontier. Freerin this week was pretty freaking good. Oh, hey Vinzinger. Yeah, thanks. That's actually, one of the things I was gonna touch on tonight. I hit 100 subs this week, which in the grand scheme of things isn't like a huge number, but it's a milestone to me, and I'm really happy to have hit it in less than a year. Because when I first started this, I figured I was going to be sitting at like 2-digit number of subscribers for much longer than this. So it's nice to be here. But back to the anime talk. It's Jujutsu Kaisen, it's Freerin, Shangri-La Frontier, and some other more interesting entries this week. I decided to check out on a recommendation the Apothecary Diaries this week. Surprisingly, not as boring as I would have expected. Hey, dude, nice to see you. It's very like politicky, but like the setting of it and the concept of it are just out there. Basically, you have this chick working as like a personal servant to yes, thanks on the and thanks for the congratulations. You have this chick working as like basically a servant to a concubine of a Chinese emperor. And it's weird because like the whole thing is set in like the rear palace of Beijing. So it's all just like it's basically just like where the emperor keeps all his little girl toys, and it's a very politicky, intricate show, which is the intrigue of it. It's everyone sort of like jockeying with each other, trying to use the next person to get a leg up in everything. And the other one I don't think I mentioned was the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You, which is a parody of harem and romance anime. It is absolutely unhinged. It is insane. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it's funny. So I didn't really start a whole lot of new watches this week like I did last week. Don't really have a whole lot extra to say. I did watch some Hunter x Hunter. The anime I'm watching this season are Dr. Stone, New World, Spy Family, Tokyo Revengers, Rising the Shield Hero, Ranga Crimson, Shangri-La Frontier. Yeah, that one's good. I'm not a fan of Tokyo Revengers. I read the manga. I hate the ending. I have a video complaining about that. Shield Hero Season 3 with the flop of Season 2. I haven't touched it. Dr. Stone kind of got boring. Spy Family, actually, I have been watching Spy Family. I have been keeping up with that. Even though I don't really care much for the anime, or I don't think it's sorry, I should say I don't think it's as amazing as everyone makes it out to be. Goblin Slayer and Shy. See, Shy's one I actually feel like checking out. Kind of looks interesting, but at the same time, it feels like one of those ones that's gonna like fly under the radar because it's not the most amazing. Goblin Slayer, yeah, I've been watching Goblin Slayer season 2, and it still peeves me that that series is basically just like it really is just like dark D&D kind of stuff. It's entertaining for what it is, but like I don't know, I can understand why some people would avoid it. Not super amazing. And then Ranga Crimson. I've heard of that, haven't touched it. Hunter x Hunter is the one that I've watched the most of recently. And that's been fun. I understand why so many people love the series because even now, hey Black, nice to see you. Because even now, like, it's still good. The storytelling is fantastic. It aged well. Its combat animation actually looks pretty good. And I'm at the point now. I'm at the point now in Hunter x Hunter where they are going after Meruem. So they're in like East Gorto, I think is the place. And they've all split up, started doing their own thing. But, I mean, I have done a little bit of reading this week. So I have continued trucking along with Claymore. And I am now about halfway through the series. I'm loving it. I mean, at first, I wanted to say it's like Berserk for people who don't like Berserk, but that feels like it's doing a serious amount of disservice to Claymore. It's not, nothing will ever be as good as Berserk. But it is definitely like the same kind of like monster slaying, big sorting that you get out of Berserk without all of the awful, terrible, dark stuff that the story contains. Yeah, Batman Mask of the Phantom is amazing. I love that movie. I watched it once as like a really young kid when I was like super into all the Batman stuff. And now because I have the Blu-rays, I can watch it whenever I want. So I've read that. I also started a new one. Thoughts on Batman Beyond? Actually, didn't watch much of it. I know people really, really love it, but it's one that I've been meaning to go back and watch because it's one I kind of missed out on. I watched Justice League, Superman, Justice League Unlimited, Batman, Teen Titans. That was where I spent most of my time. That Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Tom and Jerry, actually, because you can never go wrong with some slapstick humor. But I started a new manga this week. So if any of you know what the title or know what the series Dandadan is, or however you pronounce that, yeah, I'm hooked. Actually, I'm hooked. It is a very fun manga to read. And if you don't know what it is, basically you have a guy who believes in aliens but not in spirits, and a chick who believes in spirits but not in aliens. And they get into an argument and they both force each other to go to like UFO supernatural hotspots. And the chick gets abducted by aliens, and the dude gets possessed by a spirit, and they both get superpowers. So like, he gets possessed by the he gets basically possessed by the spirit of a super fast grandma, and she gets telekinetic powers for almost getting probed by aliens. I'll leave it at that. But it's been interesting because so far half the plot has revolved around the fact that the dude's curse took away his junk, and now he's searching for his missing testicles. Like, this is going up for the what the fuck award this year. Like, what the actual hell? But I mean, I can't complain because it's at least been, halfway decent writing. It's fairly entertaining, and if they made an anime out of it, I'd watch. I would watch. In other news, I also got some indie stuff in over the week. Copy of Guardian Angel from Centennial Comics. I read that today while I was just getting ready. And it was good. I enjoyed it. Basically, premise is you have a psychic who has telekinetic powers, who dies, and they bring him back to life like 100 years in the future. Most of America has succumbed to attackers except for Texas, and now he has to protect the remainder of the United States in Texas from insurgents. Fun, interesting things. And there is one more thing to mention that I'm happy I finally got my hands on. Adding to my Blu-ray collection, I got Konosuba seasons 1 and 2. I love that show. I don't think I have I don't think I've ever laughed harder than when I watched that anime. It was glorious. It was amazing. It was everything that you could hope for in a parody of isekai and more. So now, I guess we'll move into some trailers, because there's been one that I've skipped the past couple of weeks by accident that I've been meaning to check out. Want to ask why Lauren Chen, Brett Cooper, and Amala Ekpunobi dismissing anime? I couldn't tell you. See, a lot of people just see it as cartoons, as like something for kids. And they don't realize that comics and cartoons can be used really effectively to tell mature stories. I mean, look at Invincible, look at Berserk. They're really effective. Like, they are very effective conveyors of meaning. Film too. Film, TV shows, books. Fiction is a good medium through which to convey message and meaning. The issue is a lot of people dismiss cartoons because, well, it's treated as a kid's toy. And adults don't play with kids' toys. They will ignore all this stuff because, well, it's for kids. But I guarantee you that I've watched some stuff that ain't for kids. Ain't no child watching Berserk or Claymore or Jujutsu Kaisen. It's funny that Jujutsu Kaisen was the reason Tony Kawa was put on hiatus. Apparently, it traumatized the writers so much that they had to take a break. Oh well. Well, I guess we'll start by opening this up with solo leveling. The official release trailer, I think they said. So this one comes out next year, and the more I see of it, honestly, the less and less impressed I am by it. Should probably turn the volume way down. That animation there actually kind of looked good. Where is he? Like him running. But it hasn't really delivered anything that's like super impressive. Like watching the Freerin trailers, I knew it was going to be amazing. That was just a fact. So I guess this is one of the other things like about some of these is like Jinwoo Sung goes through like this whole glow up in like the first book because I've read these. And like he goes from like the nerdy looking punk to like this like Giga Chad. Yeah, Vinzinger. It's not that I am disappointed in it per se. It's more so that like I might have set my expectations way too high. Now, I was a huge fan of Licorice Recoil, and A1 is the same studio. They did both of them. And this just I don't know. Kind of feels like it ain't lived up to what I was hoping for. But it's also just a trailer. And it could get much better depending on well, a lot of things. They might just be saving, the best for when it actually releases, which I'd be willing to bet they are. Still going to watch this. It hasn't turned me off. Are they doing the they're showing us the intros for these? Let's get it. Okay. You know what? I actually kind of dig that. I actually do kind of dig that. It's not something like you see here, Shangri-La Frontier, Broken Games. I am addicted to that intro. Like I'm playing it on repeat all the time. But this is good too. It's good. I wouldn't put it up there on my list of like my favorite intros of the year though. Okay, it's looking at least halfway decent. It kind of looks like it's up there as far as like animation goes, but like you ain't hitting something like Freer or Jujutsu Kaisen levels of animation with this. And like those are kind of like my gold standards as far as like beauty in animation. There's also one other thing where it does look very A1 style as compared to like what it originally looks like. Like the eyes are different. A little bit of the facial structure. It definitely looks a whole lot like A1 animation. That ain't bad. It's just things always change when you go from manga to an actual animation. Still kind of seeing a whole lot of the same. This kind of stuff in animation, though, not the worst. It's better than like, it's better than it could be. I'll say, but like, I don't like the scenes where they like blur out the background as they're rushing and they just sit there in one position the whole time. I get why you do that because you save money and time on animation and it conveys the same sort of effect, but it doesn't look as great. Seriously digging this intro. So, oh wait, does this stuff start premiering in December? Yeah. Okay, so this comes out in December. I thought they were waiting until 2024 to release this, but it's coming out this winter. Okay, cool, cool. I like it. So the US release is lagging 4 days behind, huh? Sag. Headlines, the headlines, so everybody hasn't got an angle. Look up and you keep it from a zero. Everybody we can touch them as the power grows and grows. Let's get it. Oh, they do show the glow up. They do show the glow up. Okay. That makes things a little bit better. Actually, yeah, I watched it for my for a singular clip for my most recent video, the Boruto effect. It was funny. It was fucking great. I loved it. Oh, that's it. Well, since it's right here, I do want to show why I'm addicted to this thing right here. I love it. It just goes hard. I gotta keep pausing this because last time I tried to do something and like skirt the copyright rules, my stream got suspended because I tried to play too much animation in a night. Didn't work out. It was a very unfun experience. Did I not say copyright? Yeah. Copyright's a bitch, especially when you start doing like anime and stuff. They will get you on everything. And I have plenty of trailers to get to tonight. So that was all I wanted to show. Just that little intro clip. If you've seen Shangri-La Frontier, good on you. Actually, good anime. I recommend it. I like it. SAO, but the main character is Let Me Solo Her and a complete dickhead. took you a while to get into Shangri-La Frontiers intro. See, for me, it was like an instant thing. Like that, like opening to the song hooked me. You know, when we've talked before, I think you mentioned some of this stuff. I haven't been able to get around to some of it, but I will try to find it at some point. I'll look into it. Just for you, man. So, who here likes Ghibli movies? That's a trick question. Everyone should like Ghibli movies. There ain't a singular reason why you should not like a Ghibli movie. Because they're well animated, they always have great stories. They're always some level of like quirky fun. Always. And now Hayao Miyazaki's got The Boy and the Heron coming out. And this trailer dropped recently, 9 days ago. I didn't cover it last week because I didn't know it was a thing. So I'm covering it now. Let's do it.
Mahito.
So,
I just gotta say, like, without a doubt, the animation on these movies is always incredible. Like, Ghibli movies never disappoint me when it comes to animation. I have watched, let's see, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke. Is Grave of the Fireflies Ghibli? I don't think it is. Either way, there's some some good animation in that film too, and it hurts sometimes. Either way, I'm gonna try and get through this.
you made it.
Mother!
Have a seat.
Oh,
It's this way, my...
It just keeps getting more beautiful to me. Like Ghibli's style, it's iconic and it's amazing. It's like the studio just doesn't miss. Well, actually, Earwig or whatever the 3D one, with the witch, like the newer one.
Mahito.
A lot of strange things happen in this place.
Seems like stereotypical Ghibli shenanigans so far. Kooky stuff.
I just hope he stays safe.
Oh, that was cool. That was good. That singular arrow shot has me convinced that I need to go see this movie. Oh, well, at least it's like, well, if it's in theaters anywhere near me, I'm going to go see this. Yeah, so do I, Black. I have my whole collection right up here. I got like, I'm building my collection and welcome.
What's up, everybody? Sorry, I'm wearing the same.
It's fine. It don't matter. I'm wearing the exact same stuff.
Yeah,
No.
I only have like about 45 minutes. My buddy just got home from college, so I haven't seen him in forever.
Understandable, dude.
He
Understandable.
wanted to come over and actually finish up like Attack on Titan and stuff. So
Yeah, I will try to.
you got me for like 45 minutes to an hour, but I like I said earlier to you on the video, I do really want to like make this a regular thing. So hopefully, like we can do an actual show. I'm just sorry it's like a little bit like.
No, I understand. I don't expect people to like try and revolve their lives around me or the things I do. So if you have other things that come up that you want to do, like your buddies coming in from college, I understand. I get it.
I mean, I would like if he wasn't doing this, I'd be on here for like hours. But he just called me, and I was like, "Oh shit!
All right.
I gotta finish up what I'm doing, like downstairs, helping make dinner."
Well, I think that gives us enough time to go through the Yang Yi shenanigans,
okay,
Avatar trailer, and finish up this Ghibli movie trailer.
yeah,
So, have you seen this one for The Boy and the Heron?
I haven't. I heard about it,
Dude. This thing has me excited for a good anime movie. It's like Ghibli just almost doesn't miss.
They never miss. I would say the only time I know people are gonna get mad at me, Ponyo is a miss. I don't like Ponyo as much as I like for me, like I really love Nausicaa, Castle in the Sky, and Mononoke and Spirited Away. Like that's like and Kiki's Delivery Service.
I haven't seen most of those. I think the only one you mentioned there that I have seen is Mononoke and Spirited Away.
Mononoke is amazing. That movie
it is. Howl's Moving Castle is another great one too.
Howl's Moving Castle, yeah. I should have put that.
But I am behind on my Ghibli movies. I'm more of a Shinkai fanboy.
Well,
I have
dude,
almost all his movies.
The coolest thing is that Nausicaa is related to Princess Mononoke.
Huh.
Like that little what do they call it? A squirrel fox? The really tiny, like it almost looks like one of the Eevees from Pokemon. What's the electrical Eevee?
Jolteon.
Yeah, it looks like Jolteon.
Huh.
Or Umbreon. It looks like Umbreon. But there's like multiple little Umbreons that you can see like throughout. Like Umbreon was based off of that squirrel fox in Ghibli, which I think is sweet. So you got like in Nausicaa and in Princess Mononoke, they both have the same animal as there and in points in time. And I think that's pretty sick because that shows that almost like maybe Nausicaa is the future of Mononoke.
Who knows? I haven't seen Nausicaa yet. It's one that I really need to go check out. I've been meaning to, but like I only have so much money, and like I just added Konosuba to my Blu-rays, and because box sets,
I could send you a copy of Nausicaa.
I'll get one of my own for my collection because I want it. But I also did just buy a box set because it was on sale. It's like $60 off. I got Promised Neverland, so
I think you're really gonna like the way that Nausicaa is just so like humane. Like I think you're really gonna enjoy the deeper meanings of everything.
Mm-hmm.
That just knowing you and knowing your writing, but continue. I don't want to throw us off. But no, I don't have much time. So.
Yeah.
Save me.
Save me, Maito.
What exactly are you?
Like the animation on this, like I keep saying it over and over.
Already, the animation looks great.
Mm-hmm. There was one earlier where he shoots this arrow. If I can find out where it is.
Things happen in this place.
Stereotypical Ghibli shenanigans.
Yep.
Like, no chill.
Yeah, that's good.
Like this one is doing better for me and like explaining like the story and stuff to it too. So like, or at least for as far as like their trailers that they've released for this. So like I was saying, this one's got me like, if it's anywhere near me, I don't care how far I have to drive. I'm gonna go see this in theaters.
Oh, dude, I wish that like we had more people from specifically like the Weeps and Wipers group that like lived around us. Because how fun would it be to go and do like actual
Like
like
just
watch
theater raids where everyone gets together and goes and watches a movie.
Yeah, dude, that would be so much fun. That's why I really hope that we do the plan that Ivan had mentioned at one point where we get everybody together and do like a Weeps and Wifers meetup. I feel like that'd be great. And we have to watch a Ghibli movie. Like that would right? Like that would make sense. So yeah, I mean this so far, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be your guide.
I like the voice on that guy. And for an English dub, I think it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of their older English dubs don't really do it. I know Akira isn't like Ghibli, but Akira dub was rough to watch.
Castle in the Sky has what's his name in it? Shia LaBeouf.
I think Howl's Moving Castle has Christian Bale.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Christian Bale, Gene Simmons.
Okay, the one that's really good in Castle in the Sky, the main bad guy is Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill's always been a good
He's an amazing voice actor, dude. And he literally sounds just like Skips from like regular show.
He is Skips though.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. like it's the same voice. Like it's great.
Ah, okay.
This world is filled with the dead. I know it's a lie, but I have to see.
All right, that animation is spectacular.
It is. And like, so one of the things like I love Shinkai movies. One of the things like he always does with his is like all like the backgrounds are immaculate.
Yeah,
like, the scenery is incredible with Shinkai films. With Ghibli, like their style and like just how well just how skilled their whole staff is with handling this stuff.
Well, they've been doing it for years and years and years. They're all very seasoned like artists.
Yeah. I mean you could tell.
That right there, that shot, if you were to make like let's remove the stars and the words, make that a poster, people will buy it. You know, that's
I'm looking for someone.
That right there. That's great.
Hey, it looks like Calcifer.
Whoa, go back. I want to see the animation around her face and that flames. That was
I'm looking for someone.
Dude,
that's some intense stuff right there.
that is so difficult to do. To have like the solid face and have all the like that's exactly what we were talking about earlier in our video. Where you have like specifically with Demon Slayer, like an animated head on the really weird body for Mugen Train. That's CG. But right there, they did it without having to use CG.
Also, I do want to point out it's not really like a huge thing, but it's a bit of a pet peeve. You notice them running there? Actually syncs up, like their footsteps, their pacing syncs up completely. It's one of the things like that really pisses me off in some cartoons is like you'll see characters running in the background and they just don't sync to their own speed, so it looks like they're running.
You see that in the foreground too.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
We must protect this world ourselves.
Go back now!
Wait, did that say Christian Bale?
It did say Christian Bale.
Willem Dafoe?
Is Christian Bale is Willem Dafoe a Ghibli fan? And Christian Bale?
So it's got Christian Bale and Willem Dafoe. Okay, Willem Dafoe's probably the heron. He's probably the bird.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
Allies, kid.
Hey,
Mark Hamill!
Mark Hamill. They got like
They got
all-star
so
cast for
good
this.
back,
What
dude.
the heck, man?
That's so weird that you and I were just saying, like, oh yeah, Christian Bale and Mark Hamill were in Ghibli movies, whatever, and then now they're
So,
all in this one. And
one of the things like one of the problems I have with like dubs in the industry right now is like the quality of their voice actors, but these people are hiring like professional, like these are like actual actors and people with skill.
people that care.
They're
actually love
delivering some good stuff, which is probably explains why I haven't had a singular problem with any of the dubbing in this so far.
Yeah, I
So
think
now-
this is. Can we go back just a second to see if there's any more voices that we didn't recognize?
Realize, kid.
Robert Pattinson! Dude, oh, all right. I'm seeing this movie. Like,
Don't let go, no matter what.
Oh, that looked good.
Ready?
that looked really good.
Oh.
The eyes on that.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
You see this world? There's more work to be done.
I don't know what it's about, but I really like it.
So it kind of seems like this guy is like going into the underworld to try and like save his mom. This kid is going like into the underworld to save his mom.
Ooh. So almost like a
It's like the Greek.
Coco. like the Pixar movie Coco, kind of. I mean, I never was I'm not a big fan of the new Pixar movies, but I know a lot of people are, and a lot of those people have watched that movie and said like it's great. Like some of the people in our space, like Jeremy from Gamers, like he loves it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people seem to like it. I never watched it.
I never
mostly
watched
because like I
but
generally have an aversion to like the 3D Disney stuff.
Yeah.
I
like Moana though. Moana was peak. Moana was good.
If you ever get some free time, look up the B1 Battle Droid sings "You're Welcome" from Moana.
Oh my goodness, dude! I'll look that up right after this because that sounds amazing. B1 Battle Droid, you can just make. Dude, I would rather watch a show about a B1 Battle Droid. That'd be so good. It'd be so good.
All right, so
comedy about them.
We had some good stuff. We're riding high. I'm gonna bring up something absolutely abysmal since we were talking about dubbing.
Oh God!
Is the stream still going? That's the question.
Yeah, stream's still live for me.
Are you like on the channel?
Or I get on the channel. It says right now.
I'm going on it right now because last time I actually got suspended for okay, it still says I'm good here.
Okay, cool. So all right, we're still live.
Like I tried to do a whole like fight night thing, just going over like fight scene animation and all that. So like I got suspended about 30 minutes in for that one.
So I got we actually got a strike because we played a clip of Sasuke fighting a velociraptor.
Fuck that scene.
Exactly my point. But
no, I actually have something for that scene specifically, and this is how I felt about it.
I'm the product of what happens when you post something cursed as fuck! Call me Delito! Delete this shit! No!
my meme dealer sent me that one.
We were baffled because he calls me, he goes, well, our stream got taken down. I was like, for what? He goes, apparently the Naruto scene. I'm like, we paused it throughout the whole thing. And we still got in trouble. And we were sitting there making fun of the fact that there's a velociraptor fighting Sasuke.
Mm-hmm. The only strike I have ever gotten was for To Your Eternity.
Well, I mean, like, in and of itself, it would be dope if there was a summoning style to summon ancient creatures. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, summoning style. And then you just summon some velociraptors. Like, that's dope. But this thing was just there with Renegon eyes, just on its own. Like,
I know the clip. So if you haven't heard of this, it's made the rounds on the internet. So we just got done talking about great voice actors. We're gonna watch the opposite.
I have not seen this.
All right, brace yourself.
Oh God.
Justice. We're breaking the law, breaking the world together. Throwing out all tenderness, we're breaking the rules. No cause, no choice, no going back to how it was. No slowing down because
even the auto-tune can't unfuck this man's voice.
That can't be real.
It
That
is.
can't be real.
It is the official dub of Yakuza 7 Gaiden. So the guy who did this, apparently he's a YouTuber named Yang Yi. Yang Ye. I don't know how his name is pronounced.
Okay.
Either way, when people found this, he went on a blocking spree for everyone who ever made a negative comment about it.
Oh, I'm sure. They usually do. They usually do.
Like, he shut that down, and Razor Fist actually had something hilarious to say. I'll try and bring it up.
I didn't know you were a fan of Razor Fist too.
Dude, I have both his books up on my shelf. I did a review
Oh,
of them.
sick.
They're amazing books.
I'm reading Drinker's books right now. I'm about to get Dark Harvest.
I actually tuned in because I backed his film that he's doing for his books. So I got to see the trailer for his film he's been working on.
What's it look like, dude? Because I haven't been able to back it yet, but like, does it look good?
It looks good.
It looks good. Okay, I'm so excited.
I don't know. I think if I remember correctly, I backed it so like I get like a digital viewing.
Will's awesome, man. He's such a good writer.
Mm-hmm. Is it in here or is it in my likes? It's in my likes. Shit. I gotta find what Razor Fist said. I'm just gonna read it because he always has like the fucking funniest comments, which is why I love the guy because he's so he words things so well.
That's why I like Ryan Keno because he's very just like honest.
So, commenting on that, it was, who let them hire Yang Yi? Who? And why isn't that person fired already? Like, one listen to this video should have been enough to confirm that he has the inflection of a clinically depressed robot. Did he pay someone off for some shit? This makes Yakuza 7 the Yakuza 7 dub look like Hamlet.
That's funny.
I love Razor Fist, man.
Dude, I love Razor Fist and Heel versus Babyface as and you know what? I know I think I've talked to you about this before, but I really have Star Wars Theory to thank. Because if it wasn't for Star Wars Theory doing his 24-hour like charity stream where Gary took over for part of it and Jeremy took over for part of it, and like Jay was there and Josh from Dead Nerds and like all them people, I never would have known any of these guys. And I love this group of people, and I never would have met you.
Yeah, and ironically, I mean, I don't even watch the guy anymore, but like it was because I watched Steven Crowder so much, like when I was in high school. I got familiar with Quarter Black Garrett, who I then, followed over into Friday Night Tights, and I got acquainted with that group. And then Jeremy, and he said he did Weebs and Waifus. He opened up Weebs and Waifus, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll check it out because I don't have anyone to argue anime with yet.
Well, that's funny because you and I were on different like sections, but we met in the middle. Because like I met through Star Wars Theory, all these people. You met through Crowder through all these people, and we both heard, oh yeah, Ivan's gonna be starting this thing. So I was like, okay, I like Ivan. I'm gonna go check out the first episode, and he made me a moderator like a couple weeks later, and it's great. I hope he doesn't get rid of my moderation because of my accidental block.
It doesn't seem like you're in any danger of that.
I hope not, because I really do love the guys, and great people. But
I make it my personal goal to try and piss Lethal off at least once every stream.
oh, it's not hard. You just have to
somehow I don't even have to super chat. Somehow he always sees the comments where I call him.
Yeah, he does. He does. He'll be like Crimson every time, dude.
You'll be dragging your bottom across the ground when I'm done with you.
He's
Yeah, nice try, Needle.
The same way he'll tell Blabs to shut up. It's the same thing.
Well, the whole reason I mess with him is because I get some clap back, and it's more fun that way.
Oh, it's hilarious. All right, so have you seen this yet?
I've seen part of it. And
Uh,
honestly, I will say this up front: it can't possibly be worse than 7 dudes doing an Irish jig to float a rock.
No. Okay, I'll tell you this right now. My full-on, like, non-spoiler, whatever. Well, there's no spoilers if you've seen Avatar, but like, my thoughts on this is the actors look good, the cinematography looks good, the music sounds good. It's all about the plot. It's all about the story and what they change.
Does the bending look good?
There's the few shots that we see of bending, like the air bending, yes.
Okay.
So I'll show you when we get to it, but there's not a ton of bending in the trailer. But the bending that I've seen looks okay. I wouldn't say it looks amazing, but it doesn't look bad. So I mean, it's gonna be really hard to do that the right way. But without further ado.
My cursor.
Time.
Thousand's comment.
Yep.
Time is a funny thing.
Can you pause real quick?
I like the aesthetic so far, and like the music, the
I like
atmosphere.
the aesthetic. I like the fact that they're using this now the sitar, biwa, but I don't like the way that the Southern Air Temple looks.
This is supposed to be the Southern Air Temple, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. It's supposed to it's like a. I mean, it would look good if it weren't supposed to look like something else. I'll give it that.
Exactly. Like if it was just like this was the first time you're seeing this, then it looks great. But it doesn't look like the mountain that we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I had to say about that.
Lost. The future.
Now, I can already see people being upset that they're like super pale. Because Sokka and Katara were like darker skinned.
Well, they're supposed to be Inuit, but it is what it is. You get actors for actors. The thing that's really
honestly when it's I wouldn't say it makes more sense, but like in the northern climates, that's why people develop paler skin, is because there's less light and all that.
Of course.
So I can see it making sense, but they were more Inuit than they were white. So
they were based on Inuit, but the thing that is striking me here is the voice that's speaking, because I think it's Monkey Atsu. Go back a couple seconds and listen to the voice.
What the
future. It all gets mixed up.
Oh, that's got to be the city where they meet Boomy, right?
That's Amashu, yeah.
Amashi, yeah.
Which
I think that looks like a really good live action rendition of that city.
That's what I'm saying. That looks like a great Amashu. So, if you get the right person to play Boomy, dude, this is
Danny DeVito is Boomy.
This is giving me some One Piece live action vibes.
Yeah,
there is a possibility they do a really good job with this.
Same, but I do have some red flags. I'll go.
Oh, I'm knocking on wood 24/7 because it's one of my favorite series of all time.
One of the biggest red flags is this word right here.
Yeah, exactly. But so was that with One Piece.
Yep, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, so you haven't seen this part yet? Yeah, full screen that. Full screen that.
Okay.
That's Paul Sung-Young Lee from Mando.
Yeah.
I think he's a good Iroh.
I'll give him a shot. As far as like just like my straight up first impressions, I'm like, okay, I can see it. I'll let him. I'm not going to criticize it. It's just, I don't know. I had this picture of Iroh in my mind, and that wasn't quite it.
I
But
think he's
the more I sit here and observe this, I don't actually think he's that bad. I think he looks like a good fit for the role.
I was gonna say I feel like he could do it because he's
Mm-hmm.
a really good actor. He's got a really good screen presence. When you see him in Mando, you're like, I like that guy.
Which is what Iroh should, kind of be. Like,
Yeah,
he's that like
he's
that
almost already
presence that everyone loves.
Yeah, he's almost already playing Iroh as a character in Mando. To be honest, he's the guy who's like super chill, but he also knows like, all right, I gotta put my foot down about this stuff, and it's the same character. I mean, I need to see how he portrays the character
Mm-hmm.
for myself. But right now, looking at this, I think he's pretty solid. But Iroh is my favorite character in The Last Airbender. So
He is. I think he's a lot of people's favorite character.
yeah, so
Him and Sokka basically stole the show.
Yeah, and then especially season 3. Like if I can see him in season 3,
Buff Iroh.
buff Iroh, and he's like, he just goes and just blows the wall off of Ba Sing Se. Like, okay, then you got it, buddy. Then you're my guy. Well, I want to see him do the actual martial arts and fight Azula and Zuko to protect Aang in the Earth Kingdom before he goes into the prison. Like, I need to see more of, because Iroh doesn't do much in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do much fighting or anything. He fights at the end when Zhao kills the Moon Spirit. Then he instantly just, that's one of my favorite parts, is because he's like, Zhao, don't, and Zhao kills it, and then he just doesn't even say anything. He just goes straight into kicking his ass.
Yeah. Now, that's one of the things that like makes Iroh really like a great character, is he's treated like he's this sort of like goofy, like kind of like simpleton-esque character.
Yep.
But like everything he's making all of these points about at some point comes to a head and is relevant in the story. And when it really comes down to it, the dude is not someone you mess with.
No.
So he's friendly and very like personable, but at the same time, like he'll kick your ass.
But well, the best part about that is that there's this rumor that they mentioned throughout the show that Iroh had traveled to the spirit world and came back, and he was one of the only like regular humans to do so that wasn't an avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he did that, like, he knows the spirits, he knows different things. That's why he is the one who killed the last dragons, but in reality, faked it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's. I have a poster on my wall that says "Make tea, not war," and it's like one of those political.
A while back, I wanted to get the shirt that was Sokka's cactus juiced. It'll.
Oh my god, where his eyes are like he's dilated and he looks like he's tripping balls. Like, yeah, dude. Oh my god, if they do that scene in this show, I'll be happy. You have to have him and Momo just like mushroom. Mushroom.
Yes.
But that looks good to me.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a good Iroh.
All right.
There's only one way.
All right. Good Ozai.
Oh.
Good
The
Ozai.
Kyoshi Warriors look good too.
Go back.
That is like perfect.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Suki.
I was gonna say, yes, it's Suki.
Yeah, and she looks great. Go back a second to the perfect Ozai.
Yeah, I see.
Perfect Ozai, dude. And that's also the guy who played what's his name from Fast and the Furious?
I've never watched any of those movies.
It's the only Asian guy. forget the
You
actors.
realize how little that narrows it down.
Yeah, it doesn't. But from Tokyo Drift, but he looks absolutely perfect as Ozai.
Yeah, I think he looks like a good Ozai.
Like that's so good. It looks like him.
Yep.
You keep it straight.
This is supposed to come like way later in the series when they're in the Fire Nation.
No, that's the Crescent Island from season 1 that he gets the message from Heibai. Remember Heibai, the like became a panda afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, Heibai shows him, it pokes him in the forehead and shows him that, down the line he's gonna have to go here. And this is the end of season 1, like right before the battle for the North. I want to see Roku, dude. I want to see who's playing Roku.
Always remember who you are.
That's Roku.
That's gotta be. Okay, so their effects, they look like One Piece, which I mean, One Piece, I don't think One Piece had like some like really amazing blend on their effects, but it looked good. Exactly. Like you could tell where things were like edited in using computers, but it blended with everything perfectly. And I see the same sort of aesthetics here.
The music. So that
looks good.
That's Zuko versus
Ozai. Yeah. The Agni Kai, where he gets a scar.
Yep. The Agni Kai. And I think that looked really good.
Yeah.
This, I don't quite know. I think these were the pirates. Pirates, because, then we see Zuko. That almost looks like Zuko's outfit from Zuko Alone, though. Which is weird, because that's season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think this has to be right before he's about to go undercover. Like, this is after the pirates blew up his ship. And then he fakes his death. And then he sneaks in under the ice at the end of season 1. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where he just sees the bird like on the edge and he's like, no! And then just boom, 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 boom. And then Iroh's like, Zuko! And like the whole ship explodes. That's what I'm guessing this is. When Zhao tried to assassinate him. So I think this is right after that. I think we're getting a scene of him training beforehand, which we didn't get in the
Either way, as far as like the bending goes, the little bits look promising.
Yeah, go back real quick. Let's see this again. Because I think that looked really good. There's Azula.
I was about to say Azula. I don't know. Azula's supposed to kind of look.
She's supposed to be
crazy.
more angular.
Yeah,
but
she's supposed to look like a psycho bitch. To be honest.
Well, I mean, yeah. If that's the girl that I think it is, if that's the same actress, she does play some characters that can really like get emotional. But we're supposed to see her unravel.
Mm-hmm.
And even if this is a new actress, all she has to do is be Regal for season 1 and Regal for most of season 2. And then season 3, she needs to just unravel fully and just go nuts. And I mean, she attacks her 2 best friends. She loses her mind. She starts seeing her mother. And the writers themselves even said that she's schizophrenic.
Yeah,
So,
she's literally just like stress-induced crazy.
Exactly.
Appa looks good. Although you can kind of tell like the background here. Like it doesn't match the foreground, but
it's not that Appa's design himself and his textures don't look good. It's the way he moves that makes me go, that's CG.
Yeah, that's kind of the same. Like And then you can kind of tell here that it like the difference that this is like a real thing. It's not CG.
Yeah. Yep.
So like,
but here's the thing: 100 times better than Shyamalan's movie.
yes.
100 times, if not thousands times better looking than Shyamalan.
Well, Shyamalan's was an abortion. It's not hard to be better than that.
Yeah. Well, I want to see what you think about Momo when he pops up in a second. Literally a second ago.
Definitely very accurate in design. I'll give it that. About like as good as I would expect to see out of a live action adaptation of that kind of a creature.
Well, that's the other thing. It's not easy to make these creatures, and we can't expect them to look.
No, and one of the things like I like to point out about cartoons versus live action, cartoons inherently give you a little bit more of like suspension of disbelief, where you can get away with some crazy stuff in cartoons that wouldn't work in live action because when you see it in real life, you realize how goofy and nonsensical it is.
Yes, sir. 100%. And like, you watched the One Piece live action, right?
Loved it, yes.
Okay, yeah, I loved it too. So this animation is the same animation for these creatures that they used for the sea monster that fought Shanks.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. It's like there's that little bit of uncanny valley, very very slightly there.
Yes,
but it looks good enough. It looks good
to the point where you can accept it. It's not something like Captain Marvel CGI, as far as I've seen. That's
God,
sticks out like a sore thumb.
Where he throws the ship into the other ship looks so bad. But like this actually looks like passable.
I would say this is good CGI. Like obviously you can point it out because there's going to be just inherent differences, but it looks good. It passes. I'm not going to complain about it.
Like with this trailer, if you're an Avatar fan, you already know going into this that it's not going to look the same. That they're going to have to embellish certain things, or they're going to have to do things the right way. Like, and they're not going to be able to fully encapsulate. Like, it's not going to look like Avatar, like the other Avatar. I mean, like with the Na'vi. Like, it's not going to look like that. Like that's got a massive freaking.
This is a Netflix show.
Budget. Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to get this crazy stuff, but for the budget that they're giving it, it looks as good as it can be. And I honestly, so far through this trailer, it looks to me like they're going all in, and
it looks like there's actual effort put into making this, is what I will say.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just, we can profit off of a cartoon fandom who's very passionate.
Or like Cowboy Bebop.
Like Cowboy Bebop, like M. Night Shyamalan, like Death Note.
Well, they did Death Note, Bleach, Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist. They were all terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but the One Piece was good, and this actually looks very good. And these kids, these actors, these actresses, they look good for the role.
Mm-hmm.
And they're around our age.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm just saying they're around our age, and they're probably growing up with this stuff the same way that you and I were. That's it.
So February 22nd for this one, huh?
Yeah, you want to do some watch parties for it?
Hey, why not? Why not?
We should. Well, I don't know if it's going to be all dropping at once or if it's going to be weekly, but either way, we got to do at least reviews.
Yeah, well, I'm doing a review on that. I'm going to have to do a review on live action Naruto whenever that movie comes out.
Oh, well, I'm going to definitely be doing a review on
I have to defend the honor of Shippuden because, in my opinion, it's the greatest bit of...
aren't they starting with Shippuden?
From judging by the posters, it looks like they're starting with the end of the Fourth Great Shinobi War, which is like the end of Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah, well, just do the war before Madara shows up. Like,
yeah, if they just did the Fourth Great Ninja War with Madara, you get a good Madara that sells.
You can make 3 movies out of that.
Yeah.
You can make a trilogy out of that.
So here is one of my big red flags about this series. The creators walked out on it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So like,
So this is the like significant difference between One Piece live action, which had Eiichiro Oda literally holding everyone's feet to the fire.
You're
and
beating me
this.
to it.
Like there is a significant difference in that. Now, judging by the material they put out, it looks good. I will still watch it. I'll give it a chance, a fair chance. I'm not going into it skeptical or spiteful of it. They have done a good job appeasing my critiques so far. But it's sad to see, like, how do you drive creators out over creative differences? There shouldn't be any creative differences with the original creators.
Well, not only just that, but they left 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're just now getting the trailer. That's the red flag for me. Because Oda, when Oda was doing One Piece live action, Oda said, yeah, everything has to come through my desk. I have to sign off on everything. And if I don't like what you're doing, it's not happening in this. And he's handpicked the actors himself. He handpicked the writers. He handpicked all this other shit. And the fact that 2 years ago, the creators of one of the best children's shows, if you even want to eat, I don't even think it's considered a children's show, but
I count it as a children's show, but just because it's for kids doesn't mean it has no applicable messaging for an adult.
Well, it's the same thing with Clone Wars. That's what I'm saying.
Or Batman, the animated series.
Yep. And the fact that these guys worked on it first and then left, that's the one thing I'm like, they worked on it for a couple years, and then 2 years ago, they dipped out. And that's when I was like, this show's going to be terrible. As soon as they left. But here's the other thing. They also created Korra.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could argue that Korra suffered from the, it was supposed to be 1 season, but it turned into 4, I think, right?
Yeah, it was 4. I own it. I own Korra and Avatar. Yeah.
I haven't touched Korra because I've heard that it just doesn't live up to the hype.
There's just really wonderful parts of Korra. Like, if anything, just look up the episodes about Avatar 1, which is like in season 2. It's the first. I want to say it's episode like 16 and 17, but I could be wrong. But I highly recommend you at least watch Avatar 1. Because that's a whole 2 episodes just about the very first Avatar.
So I do want to point out what these guys basically said about why they left.
Yeah. I went over this a while ago with Roman, but I had more than
like
I had to go.
It really like strikes me as like kind of a like huge red flag in these words. So Mike and I are collaborative people. We did not need all the ideas to come from us as long as we felt those ideas were in line with the spirit and integrity of Avatar. We would have happily embraced them. However, we ultimately came to the belief that we would not be able to meaningfully guide the direction of the series.
Yep.
Basically what that says is, to me, is there's someone over the top of them sort of being like, no, you can't do that.
Basically, they put a chick in it, made it lame, and yeah.
Would Avatar be considered woke nowadays if it came out?
I've heard people actually debate that. No, I don't think so.
See, I don't think it would be considered woke if it came out nowadays.
No,
here's why. Because a lot of these people screaming about woke shit, it's not just because it has a chick in it. It's because they have an awful chick who's lame in it.
Indiana Jones.
Yes. You could have made Helena a really good character who goes from like this arrogant, like cocky bitch who thinks she can handle everything to realizing that she's way in over her head and that she needs Indy's help.
Also, we don't want to mess up the past, but we're gonna leave the detritus of World War II fighter plane in Rome. Like that's the problem with time travel, is that it never.
See, that time travel and the multiverse in and of themselves are very difficult concepts to do correctly. I don't think that they can't be done correctly. It's just that a lot of people abuse them because they're very easy to use to get out of bad writing situations.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's super easy. It's like, oh wait, you ever seen the pitch meetings? Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
I've seen them pop up in my feed, but I've never actually checked them out.
Oh, dude, watch them. That
I'll have to
Ryan George is really good, but it's just the super easy, barely an inconvenience, and that's always their answer.
Mm-hmm.
Or like anything, and it's so true because you're watching all these shows, and you're like, well, how does that make sense? And they're like, oh, here's something that makes it super easy and barely an inconvenience. And it's always a MacGuffin or a plot hole or something that is just so simply stupid.
Yeah, like as far as like the multiverse stuff, like I said, it can be done, but you have to keep in mind that you have to severely limit your multiverse.
Yeah.
To the point where no two worlds can be the same. You can't have duplicate characters because the moment you get into like duplicating characters throughout a multiverse, the issue is that it has like death and loss have the same impact as they do in Dragon Ball.
Yep. Well,
once you hit Dragon Ball Z, death means nothing because at the end of every arc, they just wish everyone back.
Well, look at Marvel right now. Like you have these multiverses, and I mean I know that's the most like prolific example, but if you're looking at Marvel at the moment, it's like, oh well, that's just a different multiverse. But they've killed Kang 3 times in a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you like what you're trying to build him up to be like Thanos, and what they should have done is made Thanos the very final and the end game. No pun intended. But like he should have been the end of like their.
That's what I'm like. What I was touching on in my video this week was basically the Boruto effect is what I've dubbed like the idea of just grafting on additional story content to an already complete story. Endgame was the end of the MCU.
But it also ruined everything that you have come to know. And here's the thing, like I'm not speaking from the place of a huge Marvel fan. I'm speaking from the place of a Marvel normie. Like, did I grow up reading the comics? Yeah, of course. Am I a fan of the movies? Did I watch everything up to Endgame? Yes. But do I know as much as Gary from Nerdrotic? Hell no. And like to see all these people the same way that I am with the EU for Star Wars. Like I know that. Like that's my thing. Like I know Star Wars to a T. Whereas, like, I don't know as much about Marvel, but I like certain characters, so I want to see what happens with them, and I watch the movies. But I haven't watched any of the shows. I haven't been interested in anything else. I've literally only watched Multiverse of Madness, which I fell asleep in.
That one just pissed me off so much because I loved Doctor Strange in the first movie. I thought he was such a cool fucking character. And I went to see Multiverse of Madness, and it was some of the dumbest dialogue, some of the dumbest plot lines, the stupidest shit. And I'm like, this movie fucking sucks.
Well, that's funny you say that because that was my realization. Like, I saw The Last Jedi a couple times, and I often thought to myself when I saw it, like, they're going to do something better. They can make this work. Like this is Rian Johnson. Like JJ's coming back. Like they can do something that's gonna make this all make sense and make this better. And I remember specifically exactly what scene I was watching when I was in the theater in Rise of Skywalker. They were on the snow planet, and it was right when Rey and Kylo saw each other, even though they weren't in the same place. So like Kylo's like standing in the room with Vader's burnt helmet on the ship, and he's like force connecting with Rey, and she's like seeing him on the snow planet, and they're like looking at each other. I just had this epiphany of this isn't Star Wars whatsoever. Like that's when I knew. Like I had faith after The Last Jedi. And then now after watching Ahsoka, I'm like, well, congratulations, you broke me. And I know you were there on my show when I talked about it, but it's just
Yeah.
like, and that's exactly what they're doing. And when you bring in these multiverses, when you bring in all of these different things, time travel, multiverse, quantum theory, all this other shit, like those were arcs on their own in the comics for a reason. They didn't interconnect. And then guess what? After every single one of those arcs, they rebooted.
Mm-hmm.
And because that was just an arc. And they went back to normal. They went back to Spider-Man just web slinging random dudes on the street, and Iron Man just fighting other people trying to make iron armor. Like that's the thing. Like it's just stupid. Like, and I don't really care about Marvel. I really have. I just care about certain characters. Like my top characters are, like Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Thor, and Doctor Strange. And then my one DC character I care about is Batman. Yeah. Like that's it. Like that's literally like when it comes to superheroes, that's really all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I liked Moon Knight, but then you made a Moon Knight show, which I was really into. And then at the end of the show, Disney comes out and says Moon Knight's not canon and he's not going to be in the MCU. And I was like, well,
I never finished Moon Knight, honestly. I got like 3 episodes in and I was like, this is kind of doo-doo. I'm not really digging it.
Well, they're not doing Moon Knight right because it should have been Jake Lockley and, Steven and the other guys, or the other guy. But it just, like, how cool would it have been if you had Spider-Man? All right, I love Deadpool too. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I freaking love Deadpool. But if you had Deadpool in the MCU with Moon Knight and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Iron Man and Thor, is that not a badass group of Avengers? Like,
I mean, hard to argue with that.
Yeah, like, and now you're trying to do Blade, and I'm like, well, you're just gonna, like, Mahershala Ali doesn't even want to really do it anymore because they've rewritten the movie like 5 times.
Yeah, he keeps getting written out of his own movie.
Well, did you hear I'm sure you heard about the fact that
how like it morphs into a narrative where he's the 4th lead.
Yeah,
and it's full of like it's 3 women doing everything, full of life lessons.
Yeah, these 3 women are like he's training them, and then like, but he's just kind of like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. That's what it sounded like.
Yikes!
And like that's not Blade. Blade needs to be R. And if this new Deadpool's not R, there's going to be problems.
Mm-hmm.
I wholeheartedly believe that Ryan Reynolds and everybody else involved in the new Deadpool want to really make a good Deadpool movie. And I think that I don't think they stopped filming. Even though they were supposed to, I really don't think they did because everybody knew what they were making. And Ryan is the type of guy they told him that he couldn't continue filming because he can't improv and all this other stuff. He's going to improv.
You're going to stop Ryan Reynolds from improvising.
Yeah, literally. Like, no, that's not going to happen. So, like, I think if anything, like, that's going to be a good movie that we get. But it's just really sad to see this because there's so many cool things you could do. Like Deadpool versus Thanos was one of the best comic runs I read.
Huh.
And it was awesome because he kills Thanos. Like it's badass, dude. Deadpool's the one who saves everybody, and everybody's like, "Well, what the? This guy?" You know what I mean? Like it's great. And it's so much fun, and that would just be a fun movie.
Yeah,
but
it's
they did the same thing to Jurassic Park. They just don't care anymore about like continuity at all.
yeah. Well, again, it's like they have no direction with their storytelling because they're attaching these things to IPs that have already sort of like lived out their stories, and there's a way to go about it. It's just, again, it's compounded by terrible writers who don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, quite frankly, I mean, yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They have no idea.
Which is why I thought the whole writer strike was hilarious, because these people are making awful movies. Like, oh, have you heard any of the coverage of like the new Disney animated movie Wish?
What about Bros? You know what I'm saying? Like they were so angry that no one came to see it.
Like
I know gay people that didn't give a fuck.
Like with Wish, I mean, you have a villain whose whole like, pardon me, evil his whole evil shtick is that he's going to tell people no, they can't just have whatever they want. He's not going to grant everyone's wishes, and that's somehow evil.
Is that the animated one?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's the one where she has like the little retarded goat.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
it's funny. Like,
my bad.
and what, I don't care, dude. I've said worse on my channel.
Yeah.
At one point, like, you have to acknowledge, like, what if Peter wishes he had Paul's wife? Like, so that's like the simplest argument, and that whole like message of their movie falls apart.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And there's no message in that movie in the first place because kids are going to be paying attention to the goat the whole time.
Well, there is a message in the movie, and the message is that the people who tell you no are evil.
Yes. And guess what? It's an old white guy. Great hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, always an old white guy. Except for
I want to recommend a video on this to you. It's called the John Walker effect. I think a guy named Lumar did a video on it. It's like 16 minutes long. He talks about how like it's this recurring thing where they like writers unintentionally make their villain the most sympathetic character, the most sensible character, or the most logical character. You see it in Wish. You see it in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yep,
where we got the whole title of it from.
Well, that's a great movie, but no, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's the show. I'm talking about Civil War.
Captain America Winter Soldier is my favorite MCU movie.
I was gonna say that's a great movie, but
yeah,
Falcon and you know what? You need to do better, Senator.
Yeah, no, it's basically the same thing that's going on. Like you have all these different problems sort of like morphing into this massive abomination that is modern Hollywood. Yep. You have the myth of the modern audience, this idea that you can appeal to all people at all times. You have the sequel effect, as when I brought this up on you and Roman's stream, I call it the Boruto effect, where people try to tack on additional sequels to a series that's already run its course, like you see with Star Wars, like you see with Marvel, Indiana Jones, the Terminator.
Well, here's the thing: it's a little bit different with Star Wars because there's always that's why most of us as Star Wars fans, you and me alike, we love Star Wars because there's so many different stories you can constantly tell.
No, but can I interject here really quick?
Yeah,
what I mean by that is they tacked on more stuff to the Palpatine story that was already finished.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm getting at is they chose a story that had run its narrative course and they tacked on something at the end, and it started with character assassinations, and then it was retcons, and then it was the ultimate unwinding of the entire story. Because you had to go back and retcon things to make it all make sense. and
And
that destroyed the entire narrative, and it loses message, it loses meaning, it loses any sort of power scaling or narrative through lines. Everything just comes apart.
Well, here's the thing too. Like they did the exact same thing to Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're right. It is the Boruto effect, or you could even go as hard as calling it the Boruto sequel effect, because it's the same thing for both.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking these characters that we love. Like Boruto went through the same exact thing as the sequel trilogy in my eyes. Like you took all of our legacy characters, and part of my French, quite frankly, made them pussies. Everybody, except for that one fight against Momoshiki.
Yeah, that one fight against Momoshiki was great, but from like it was literally like just they're going downhill and then they spiked really quick, and then they came.
They went right back down exactly, and then you have like that fight against Jigen, and you lose. I don't know if you want me to spoil it or not.
Oh no, I know about Jigen.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you want me to spoil it for the viewers, but
I don't care if you're really interested in Boruto. Sorry. But Kurama fucking dies.
All right, there we go.
You killed one of the most important characters in Naruto.
Yep. It would have made more sense if it was somebody else.
One of your most popular characters.
Sasuke's Renegon. What the fuck?
Yeah. It was such a dumb decision. And then like watching Naruto like sit there and like single-handedly deal with like stacks and stacks of paperwork without using shadow clones is just like, who wrote this? Boruto proved that Kishimoto can't write.
You know what? I didn't really want to use my my chakra to do that. Shut the fuck up, yo. Like it's and I don't even think it's Kishimoto. I really don't. I think it's just them. Oh, yo, look, Roman's in chat.
Yeah. Well, I stopped watching Boruto before Momoshiki, and then I saw some clips of Momoshiki, and I went and just watched that fight, and like that was basically. Yeah. Look, Barry on Naruto was a cool little aesthetic, but the fact that they had to kill Kurama to do it.
No, I agree with you, but I disagree that they had to kill him. Like
what I'm saying is that ruined the whole thing.
Yeah, have that be like his major thing, and then like maybe Naruto can't use Kurama for a while. You know what I mean? Like something like that, but you don't have to kill him.
Yeah, they had to nerf the characters, bring in all the Otsutsuki shit, and then just like humiliate every single character we fucking loved. I fucking loathe Boruto for that reason.
Yeah. The only good part about Naruto is that fight and then Mitsuki. Like, other than that, like, Mitsuki's interesting. A clone of Orochimaru is interesting to me. It should have just been about him. Because you could have done such a crazy story with that. And I like Orochimaru. I know a lot of people hate him, but like I like him.
I think Orochimaru is an excellent villain up until the Fourth Great Shinobi War, and then they destroyed his character by making him this kind of like, well, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna play nice now. I'm gonna forget about destroying the Leaf Village and getting Sharingan eyes.
Well, I actually do think that was his plan the whole time. Because he was like, well, Sasuke's not going to work out, so I'm going with plan B.
I don't know.
He always wanted the betterment for the world. That's the thing about Orochimaru. Like, yes, did he want power? Of course. But he also didn't want the world to be destroyed and go the way that Kaguya wanted it. So I think that's what makes Orochimaru a very interesting villain. He's almost like your. That's funny that I mentioned this, but from Pirates of the Caribbean, who is the commander or the lieutenant who was like the one who was originally married to Elizabeth Swann? Or it's
I
supposed
don't.
to be.
It's been so long since I've watched.
But you remember the guy though, like he like, and then
I think so. Yeah.
he ends up being all dirty and ragged. And Norrington. So like Norrington was, like a really regal person in the first movie, and then the second one, Norrington is like all downtrodden and stuff, and he's the one who steals Davy Jones' heart and brings it to Beckett. And then in the third movie, he's like all dressed up again. He's real regal, but he gives his life to save Elizabeth and the other pirates escaping from Davy Jones. So like that's how I see Orochimaru. Like, he was a good guy. He went to the dark, did his thing. It didn't work out. He was like, all right, I'm going for plan B. But I always cared about these specific people. And there is specific people he cares about, and he says that when he talks to Tsunade. So
Yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that Boruto's still trash.
oh no, Boruto's still trash. I'm not debating that. I'm not debating that.
And the Moon Demons was a complete.
That's bullshit.
It was complete bullshit. So, like, in that regard, like I said, Boruto proved without a shadow of a doubt that Kishimoto can't write, and that he really needed his editor to keep him on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. Well, but Kishimoto, like, who was it who died? Was it the editor or was it his brother?
No, Kishimoto fired his editor.
Yeah, but who died during the tsunami? Somebody died during the tsunami.
Her brother and her lover.
Is that what it was?
For Tsunade?
No, I'm talking about in real life.
Oh.
Yeah, during the tsunami that destroyed
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the tsunami that destroyed Fukushima, one of I think it was the original editor.
I don't know who died. I know his original editor didn't die. Because they came back towards the end of Boruto, or towards the time skip, I should say, into Two Blue Vortex. He got fed up with his editor and thought he could do better without them, and fired them close to the middle point of the Fourth Great Shinobi War, which is why we got Kaguya.
Which I don't mind Kaguya, but Madara should have been
the final villain.
That's the first edit that I ever made. That's the first music video I ever made.
There's something I at some point I want to go down a rabbit hole with you on, because I have there's some artists out there who do you know what nerdcore is?
Nerdcore music? Yeah.
So do you know who Divide Music is?
That I don't know.
He's like he's like a nerdcore artist who does all these rock and metal compositions, but he does it all about anime characters. He has one on Madara, Aizen.
Oh, he's got an Aizen one? Yo, can you send me
that? At some point, there's a couple of these nerdcore artists who I'd like to go down the rabbit hole and get you guys' opinions on, because some of them I really do like they're on my playlist regularly. But it's every 2 weeks, this guy's got a new song out. So he's done Gojo, he's done Madara, Aizen, Perfect Cell, Frieza.
Is his Aizen one good?
Actually, yeah, I think it's one of his better songs.
Send it to me.
I will.
I will go over them with you, but I gotta hear the Aizen one, because Aizen.
He also has Ichigo. He has 2 Ichigo songs.
So sick. So I think I actually think next year I'm working over this time to make the perfect Aizen costume. I'll have to shave, but
see, I wanna get in shape, so I can straight up just do the Rengoku thing, because I fucking love Rengoku.
Well, I think I'm gonna do the Blood War Aizen.
I love this comment, by the way, because I kind of agree with it.
Damn, Roman, you're going hard right now.
Naruto is my absolute favorite anime of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. But I will admit that Kishimoto has his issues. He wanted to make the third Hokage a dog person, by the way.
What?
Yeah, his editor stopped him.
That was a thing?
Mm-hmm.
The only dog person in anime that I am okay with is the one we just talked about earlier, Sajin Komamura.
Yeah, Komamura.
Because he's a werewolf. He's not a dog
Yeah.
person. He's a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense in the world of Bleach.
Yeah.
So that I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only one that I was like, that's not whack.
Yeah,
But-
no kidding. Anyway, I will send you that Bleach song, but there is one more thing before. I don't know how long you have left to go, but there is one more thing I wanted to bring up.
A little bit longer. My buddy's not going
Because-
to be here for another probably 15, 20 minutes. So
I discovered this today while I was looking into the who's doing the live action Legend of Zelda.
oh yeah,
They're doing a Borderlands movie.
What the hell is 007 Road to a Million?
I have no idea. But someone is doing a Borderlands movie. This is a real
Yes.
thing.
So my friend just told me about this. He's a huge Borderlands fan. He's not a gamer, not in the space that we're in at all. He just grew up playing Borderlands. And he sent me this. Not this exact article, but he sent me a different article. And he was like, dude, I'm worried about this.
Okay, let's just.
So,
How do you feel about Jack Black Claptrap?
okay, Jack Black Claptrap, say that 10 times fast.
Jack Black Claptrap?
Jack Black Claptrap, I could see. I could see that. I could totally see that. It's the Gina Gerson has Moxie. Kate Blanchett can't be Lilith. Like, she's too old. Who's Roland? Because they're married.
Kevin Hart.
If they made him taller. Seriously, if they made him taller.
See, I don't know if these are like the real castings though, because
I
it
don't
just
think this
says-
is real. I
Yeah.
don't think
I think
this
these are all like fan castings.
because anybody with their right mind would not cast Kevin Hart and Kate Blanchett together because Lilith and Roland are married.
Are they?
I just wouldn't.
Lilith and Roland are married? I thought.
Yeah, they're together. Well, after in two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought it was more like they're just dating kind of thing, but I might be wrong. on that.
Dating, married, been together.
Either way, they were romantically involved with each other.
Yeah, been together.
I have played that game
15 years. Way
too many times. I know that much. Whether it's married or dating, I don't really need to know the.
Jack Black as Claptrap is the best casting I've seen here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't see this being Tiny Tina whatsoever.
No.
Anyway, I just thought it was interesting because.
Well, they want Krieg in the movie. Did you see that
Yep.
there? Yeah, they want to put Krieg in the first one, and Krieg wouldn't be coming to. He's a deserter from the bandits.
Mhm.
Like Krieg wouldn't be showing up until.
So the guy who's doing that movie has done all of these movies. So both the Spider-Verse movies, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Well, if it's not live action, I'm cool with it. But they're saying it's going to be live action. If it's not live action, then go ahead, make Kevin Hart Roland, make Kate Blanchett Lilith. But
one of the things I saw though in all of this was that they basically said they weren't going to be too slavish to the games.
Well, that's a bad idea.
Which, if you're going to do a Borderlands game or Borderlands movie, come on, Handsome Jack.
Who the
You
fuck?
have got to have Handsome Jack as the villain.
That's my question. Who is playing Handsome Jack? Because you cannot do Borderlands without Jack, one of the most iconic characters in video game history. You cannot do Borderlands without Jack. And here's the thing. Jack's not even a fucking villain. Like you find out so much shit at the end of 2. And like Jack is he's just working, like he's just on a different side than you.
Well,
but like
here's the thing though, is like when you actually get into it, like you do the prequel and stuff, you basically find out Jack's whole plan was to get rid of all of the bandits and stuff on Pandora. And they kind of do like we got to make him evil, so we're just going to make him arbitrarily kill some people and enjoy it.
Yeah, well, didn't he leave? Like, didn't he lose his wife or something like that?
Yeah, when his daughter was born, Angel,
his daughter
accidentally killed her mother using her powers.
Yeah, and she's in. Isn't she the one that's in 3?
No. Angel is, you kill Angel in 2. She basically sends you on a mission to retrieve the vault key and kill her to prevent Jack from opening the vault.
Right. Sorry, I'm mixed up, but like, yeah, no, like Jack's not a villain. Jack's just a sad man.
I think he's a villain, but I think he was kind of forced into the role by the so-called heroes being absolute jackasses. Because if they hadn't betrayed him in the prequel, he wouldn't have snapped.
No, I
Moxie, Lilith, and Roland forced Jack to snap.
It was my fault. Well, that's why he kills him. Like, that's why I always make the joke. I'm like, I die in every video game and movie except for Jurassic Park. The only time I've ever seen a character named Roland live is in Jurassic Park 2. Like, so I always make that joke, but like, I love Jack as a character. And I was so hyped for the pre-sequel because they told us you'd be able to play as Jack. But then you get the game and you're not actually Jack. You're a clone of Jack. I'm like, well, it would have been so much cooler if I was actually Jack. You know, like,
yeah,
you could have done something so sweet with that.
So yeah, the guy who's doing that Borderlands movie is also the one doing the live action Zelda movie.
Wait, that's the same guy, Avi Arad?
Yep.
Okay.
That's how I found this. Is I was looking into like what movies has Avi Arad made, and then I saw that. I'm like, why did I never know about this? Why did I not know that there was a Borderlands movie?
Yeah, my buddy texted me like about 2 months ago, and he was like, "Yo, they're making a Borderlands movie," because I used to play with him all the time.
Mm-hmm. So honestly, when it comes to the live action like Zelda thing, I'm disappointed they didn't do animated. Like I feel like they should have done an animated Zelda. I think it would work better. And I had this whole thing out with Pilgrim and Daimyo in the Discord actually. Like talking about like
they want it live action?
They're doing it live action in this.
Well, I'm saying like Daimyo and Pilgrim, did they want
Pilgrim seems to just more so be like joining in the conversation. Daimyo disagreed with me. And now here's one of the things like I can say. If they're going to do live action, they're going to lose some of that sort of like whimsical fairy tale-esque aesthetic that goes with Zelda. Even though it does have some darker plots with like, Majora's Mask.
But you can do that in live action the same way, or not live action. You can do that in animation. Like, think about the darkest moments of Clone Wars, the darkest moments of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the darkest moments of any anime that you and I have ever watched. You can do that, and you can still have it be kid friendly.
Mm-hmm. You can. Well, it's one of those things where, like, if you're adapting one of those like older, more mature storylines from like the older Zelda games, it might work in live action. My issue is we've seen how these live action adaptations tend to go, and they already had huge success with like Mario being an animated movie.
Do it that way.
And if you did Zelda as an animated movie, why not just go for a full Smash Bros. Cinematic universe? As corny as it would be, I would still watch it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it would be fun to see like Samus just fucking up Kirby. Like it would be fun. It doesn't really matter to that point. Like you've already gone off the deep end by making Super Smash Bros. In the first place, and then you do Smash Bros. As a movie where like you don't have to explain why they're all there. Like they're gonna do that because I'm sure they're gonna do a Smash Bros. Movie, and you don't have to really be like, oh, these portals opened all over the place, and now like Mario's stuck with Zelda, and with Link, and he's stuck with like you don't have to do that. Like you could literally just have a movie where they're all fighting each other in a tournament, and people would have fun with it.
Again, like Mario was not some like deep, meaningful movie. It was just like a fan servicey, like, hey, remember the games? This is what it looks like in movie form.
Exactly.
It doesn't really have to like. Legend of Zelda though is one that's a little bit more story driven. So that's where like I feel like if they do a live action, it might be just too gritty, too like dark for its own good, and it'll lose a lot of like the more like whimsical aspects of the Legend of Zelda.
Well, I mean, you could do a trilogy out of Zelda easily. Easily.
They have manga for the Legend of Zelda.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you could do the Legend of Zelda, and then do the Legend of Zelda, like Majora's Mask, and then do the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and then if you want to have like the big culmination, do Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You know what I mean?
Ocarina of Time, I believe, is the most popular one. That would be the one you would really want to like lead.
Is after Majora's Mask, right?
I don't think there's like a continuous timeline because if I read correctly, Majora's Mask basically is just like a whole like analogy for Link died and now he has to get over it.
Well, Ocarina came out after Majora's Mask, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's whatever. It's bricks and screws. Shout out to Star Wars Theory, but you could do a whole entire trilogy. But on that note, I do have to dip.
It's all right. I think we're at the end here anyway. So
all right, cool. I'm glad I got the chance to talk to you.
Yep,
brother man. I will text you. We'll figure out something to do where we can talk every week.
All right. Yeah.
I would love that to make this like a regular show. So
absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. Chat. Thank you. Anybody watching this, thank you. You guys all rock. And Crimson Low, you are a good friend of mine.
Same. Right back at you. I am. All right. He's gone. Well, that really just about covers everything that I was going to hit this week. There is I was, if I needed it, going to hit the Ultraman Rising trailer, but I'm not super interested in that one. So I'm just going to leave it. I don't feel like I need to cover it. Hit everything I wanted to. Went a little extra long because this is 100 subscriber commemoration. That's the word. Fuck me. And I'm having a little bit of fun tonight. But thanks to everyone for tuning in, who commented, to Roland, to to RG, Vinzinger, Black, all of you. If you hear this, I appreciate it. It's great to see you all in chat. It's always nice to see your comments. I really appreciate all the support. Even though I'm still small, I'm going to keep doing this, going to keep improving. It's great as always to talk to Roland. It's fun. Always nice to have someone else to bounce off of and to keep things going. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. See ya. My brain is so scrambled right now. I need to just relax. These long streams wear me down really fast. That's why I usually try to keep mine at like an hour or so. But no point in complaining now. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Thanks for all the support. Really appreciate it. Have a great